Welcome to my Flosstube channel. My name is Bonnie and I live in Newfoundland, Canada. And welcome to my Thread the Needle Flosstube channel. So it is the new year, so happy new year to everyone. I hope everybody had a wonderful holiday, lots of happy time spent with family. My holiday was nice. It was a nice refreshing break from going to work and all the normal stuff. So it was really, really nice and I got some stitching done. So I thought in this video I would maybe go over and do a bit of a WIP parade, and who doesn't love a WIP parade? So I thought I would show you everything that I plan to work on this year. I know I went over it briefly in the previous video, my year-end video. I thought I'd go more into detail about my plans for the new year. So let's see, where do I want to start? I guess I want to start with projects that I have planned for my what I want to do for the next year, right? It's my regular WIPs. So let's start with those. So you've got QS Christmas presents. That's this one here. And I didn't get much more done on it than what I had already shown you previously. But however, I look forward to working on him and finishing him up this year. And as a bonus, if I finish this, then I award myself with a new start. And I have quite the list of charts that I want to get started on. So wish me luck. I want to get this finished so I can add another new start. But I didn't want to add too many because, as you will see, as I get through my WIPs, I have a couple of new starts that I already started at the beginning of the year. So can't wait to share those. So this is QS Christmas Presents. It is a Heaven and Earth Designs chart. It is on 22 count fabric. Don't ask me what kind of fabric, but that's what it is. And it's 2/1 full cross. So here's another close-up look of the big guy. Maybe I'll unfold that a little bit so you can see it better. And there you go. So hopefully I'll get that one done pretty quickly the next time it comes up in my rotation. Okay, so that is that. And of course, the next one in my big project of birthstones is the Peridot. Now, in my last video, I had questioned, if anyone knew what the amethyst birthstone was for, and a couple of you were kind enough to let me know that it was for the month of February. So I think what happened was I was going in order because, if I'm not mistaken, Garnet, which I already finished and showed you guys, was for the month of January, and then I moved on to February and I got amethyst done, and I was gonna do March, but then my daughter requested this because we have a lot of members in the family who are Peridot birthstone in August, including her. So she requested this one, so hopefully I'll get this one done. And I think after this section here, this part here should be pretty easy. I'm hoping it's just like the block stitching up there. So hopefully we'll get a good bit done, and I have another birthstone to work on once I get this one done. So looking forward to getting that one done as well. This one is also done on 22 count fabric. I think this is 22 count Hardinger fabric, and it is 2/1 full cross. And she is coming out very nicely. Looking forward to it. So we'll find out what comes next for the month of March, now that this one will be soon to be finished. And wish me luck. I want to get this one done too, so I can start the next one. Who doesn't love a new start? Always puts me in a good mood when I get a new start. Now, my next WIP, work in progress in my rotation, is of course my London piece. As many of you know, I recently went on a family vacation to London about a year ago actually. It was right before everything happened and life was kind of normal, and we went on a vacation to London, England, and I got this chart as I wanted to stitch it as a reminder of our vacation because we had such a beautiful, wonderful time. So this is Life is an Open Book, London. It is stitched on 22 count, 2 over 1 full cross. So as you can see, I have quite a few projects in 22 count, and it's 2 over 1 full cross. So as you can see, these 3 projects I haven't picked up since the last time I filmed a video for you. So hopefully they'll come up in my rotation, and we shall see how much more I can get done on that. So the next one is a large project. It is World Travel Bookshelf by Amy Stewart, and like I mentioned previously, it is a bookshelf with 4 shelves, and all across all the shelves there are multiple countries that she depicts with familiar landmarks from each one. And I decided to split up the shelves myself because I didn't think I would ever get the whole thing done. So I thought at least this way I'll get, I can say it's done and move on. So I separated the shelves myself, and I decided to stitch them separately. So I started on this one. It is not a focus piece, which is why I don't get much time on it. It's just in my rotation with the rest of my works in progresses. So I work a little bit on it every time it comes up in my rotation. So here it is. This is World Travel Bookshelf by Amy Stewart. This is shelf number 1, and it's coming along. I mean, slowly but surely it's coming along. And it is done on 25 count, 1 over 1 full cross. I am not a huge fan of stitching with 1 over 1. I always find, maybe it's just my stitching method, I always find that the floss seems a little flimsy. Maybe I'm being too, hard on it. But I just feel like the floss is too delicate when I'm working with it. So I'm always hesitant when I do 1 over 1 full cross. But I can't complain because on these higher counts, I mean, it's just perfect. You can still see the X's when you get really, really close. Should probably go towards the camera. And when you pull far enough away, I mean, the picture is just fabulous. So I will do it if a project warrants it, especially if it's a large project and I don't want it to be a humongous finish, but we'll see. So next up is a new start that I wanted to share with you. A while ago, I showed you that I had gotten this piece of fabric as part of a fabric club that I was a part of. I discontinued it because I just wanted to give it a break. But the last fabric that I got it from was, the company's name was Jodyri Designs. And oh, beautiful, beautiful fabrics. This is just a 18 count fabric. It was this beautiful purple piece of fabric, and it was like so beautiful. And I questioned, would I ever find anything to do on it, because all my pieces are full coverage. And I ended up actually finding that I wanted to use it for my new start. I told everyone about this enchanted garden that I wanted to do. And here she is. So it is by Heaven Earth Designs. Artist's name is Jessica Galbraith. So you can see this is what she is going to be like. So I started her on this beautiful purple fabric, and here is how much I have done on her so far. So you can see the top of her head and the flowers, and she's coming along. So excited, very excited to do this one because I think it's going to be a quick stitch. Let's hope so. That is the full width of her, so she's not very wide. I didn't center it very properly, but that's all right. That'll all go in framing. And I am half debating, do I want to leave some of the fabric on the outside of the finished piece so that you can see some of the purple fabric. But when it comes to framing, I guess it's just a wait and see what it will look like once I get all those colors in and see how it looks against everything. So we'll see. We'll think about that when it gets to that time. I have a ways to go, but I do still feel like it's going to be a quicker stitch than most of my other pieces. Now, moving on. I am in a lot of those Facebook groups. Anything related to cross stitching, I am probably in those groups, and a lot of them always have these challenges. And I felt this last year I didn't want to get tied down with challenges and goals, and that you have to do this and you have to do that and you have to work on this topic or that topic. I didn't want to get kind of, set with like boundaries of what I wanted to stitch, when I wanted to stitch it. But the only one that I did participate in, or I am going to participate is the challenge for 21 and 21, which is, I believe, Full Coverage Fanatics. And for them, 21 and 21 means you pick one project and you stitch 21,000 stitches on it in the year of 2021, which is us now. So I was debating on going back and forth between the World Travel Bookshelf and Ganesha, and I couldn't decide, so I asked you guys, my fellow watchers and my lovely people out there who watch my video. You guys were so kind to comment and leave me a wonderful little note and message, and a lot of you wanted me to do Ganesha, so that is what I'm going to do. So this year I have pledged to myself, or to the Facebook group gods, that I am going to do 21,000 stitches this year on Ganesha. And I have been stitching on it for the last couple of days. I think I have, if I do my math right, maybe around 700 to 800 stitches. And so here is how much I have done on Ganesha. And once I get this little bit done here, I think a hand comes and a lotus, and I think there's more blue stuff here. So we'll see how it goes. I mean, let's see, I want to show you properly. There you go. So here's my 21 and 21 challenge. I'm going to get 21,000 stitches done on this piece, and I'm looking forward to it. It's about time that I put some work on this one. It's been sitting in my work in progress pile for far too long, and I believe it deserves some love. So I'm looking forward to working on this one this year. This one is done on, again, 22 count, 2/1 full cross. Now, on to my other new starts that I started in the new year. If you can believe it, I started 3 new starts, and it's only January 10th. So, but I think I won't be starting anymore until I either get the birthstone done or the Santa piece done. So I have a bit of time to give to myself before I start another new start. But, I wanted to do this. So my next new start is, it's a fun one. It is a mystery sal that is run by the Cross Stitch Studio, and it is a full coverage piece mystery sal. So for those of you who don't know what a mystery sal is, it's kind of like you buy into the subscription, and at the beginning of each month, for this one particularly, at the beginning of each month, they give you 1 page of the chart. You don't know what you're stitching on. You don't know what the finished piece is going to look like. All they gave us was the theme, and the theme was wildlife. So, it's by Cross Stitch Studio. I decided to do it on 18 count, and we got the first page on January 1st, and I started it. It's a lot of confetti. For those of you who don't know, confetti is all of those single stitches that are mixed up with other single stitches of other colors that are all over the place, and it just takes a lot longer to stitch. I decided to do the diagonal method on this, diagonal cross country. At the moment, it doesn't look like anything, and I've seen a couple of people who have gotten further ahead on the page than I have on the Facebook group, and I still can't tell what it is. So I don't know if you can, but here's what it is. So that you can't see that at all. So here is the first page, and as you can see, it is just a lot of yellows and beiges and not a lot of anything else. So I think in this corner of the page, because I think the page is like this wide, and there's a couple of more browns coming up, but this is it. And you wouldn't think it would be that much fun to work on. You don't even know what you're working on, and it would be kind of boring, but it's kind of fun. I'm enjoying it a lot. So that's the Cross Stitch Studios Mystery Sal, and it's super fun. I did it on 18 count, and here's what how big the finished piece is going to be. So that's the top corner that I started on, and it's gonna go all the way there. So it's not bad. I mean, it's not too big and it's not too small. I think it's gonna be super, super fun. And yeah, we'll see how that goes. So now, finally, my last new start of the year. Well, maybe I shouldn't say last new start. My most recent new start that I started over the last few days was a lovely piece that someone in the stitching community contacted me, and we became friends, and she requested that I stitch on this chart along with her. Her son is a wonderful artist, and he has created some wonderful pieces, and she wanted to convert his masterful pieces into cross stitch so that other people can enjoy the journey. And she wanted some help in seeing what it looked like when it was converted from artwork into cross stitch, because she's never done this before, and she was starting a new business, cross stitch chart business, and she wanted some help. So of course I said, yeah, I'd love to help. So we're both doing it on different counts, on different fabrics. She's doing it on black, I'm doing it on white. So with the different methods, we all get to see how each one kind of emerges differently. So the artist's name is Chris Windsor, and I'm gonna show you, actually I'll show you on this. So it is called Siamese Fighting Fish, and it is super colorful. So here is, okay, so look at that little purple fish with the pink fins and everything. So I think it's going to be a super fun stitch. Only problem is it is quite a large piece. It's going to take me a while. And I decided to do it on 28 count because that's what I had in my stash, and I thought that would be fun. So when you stitch on 28 count, the stitches are very, very tiny. So again, I'm going to have to use one floss, one strand of floss, and and I'm doing 1/1. So there's a lot of, as you saw in the picture, there's a lot of black space. So there's a lot of 310 and a lot of 939. So it's a black and navy for those who don't know the DMC colors off by heart. I know a few colors off by heart because I use them so often. 310 is definitely one that I think a lot of stitchers out there know off by heart. So the piece uses a lot of DMC, but there is also a lot of specialty threads. It gives you an option. So like I said, the piece is, the art is done by Chris, and his mom wanted to make it into cross stitch. Her name is Anita. So hi Anita. And her shop is on Etsy. It's called One Stipple Two Stitch. And she has a few other pieces there, and she's working on some wonderful pieces. And you can also follow her on Instagram, where she kind of documents her progress. And I think it's worth a look. You guys should have a quick gander at her store and at her Instagram page to see if anything catches your fancy. So she gave me the option of doing all the DMC. So when you buy the chart, you get a lot with it, not just the chart. She gives you some extras to go along with it, so you can make your own floss keys and everything. So she very kindly gave me some stitchy kindness and gave me all the specialty threads, because in her chart, she gives you the option of doing it the whole thing in DMC or swapping out certain colors for specialty threads, and there's even some glow-in-the-dark threads. So I'm going to go over what she sent me because the package came this weekend. So let's see. Now, in it was, first of all, this absolutely beautiful card that she made from the artwork. So this is what it's going to be, and I can't wait. It's every time I look at it, I get excited about wanting to see more in my stitching to see what the final piece is going to be like. And if it's going to look like this, then it's just going to look beautiful, beautiful. And she wrote me a sweet little message in there, and it was very nice. So let's see what Anita sent me. So let's first start with this one. She sent me some Petite Treasure braid in these, let's see, there you go, these beautiful colors. So this is a really nice pink sparkly thread, and then you've got the lighter pink kind of lavender-ish thread. So that is going to be so fun to stitch on, and I keep looking at the picture trying to figure out where these colors are going to come. I think it's going to be so much fun to stitch on. I have used Petite Treasure braid sparkly thread in the past. I like it a little bit better than the Kreinik, so we'll see how that goes. So that's the first little bit of stitchy kindness from her. Then next we have, let's see, what are these? These are just some DMC sparkly floss. I think it's a tool. That's why they have an E in front of the number. But here is those colors there. So you can see they are super sparkly. We've got the green, we've got like a blue, and then a light pink, and then we got the red. So I swear to God, every time I look at these, I have to look back at the picture and I'm like, huh, where does that come? Oh yeah, that's gonna be so beautiful, and I can't wait to get to that part in the chart where I get to use these beautiful sparkly, sparkly colors. And okay, so let's put that one away. And then next, she sent me some fabulous, oh so fun, glow in the dark. Look at this. I mean, come on. Okay. So it's just the white and the greens. And then once you put it in, again, for your reference, I can't wait to find out where the glow in the dark is going to come. I have a feeling it might be in the eyes. She told me, but I was too excited and I don't remember, but that's going to be so much fun, this glow in the dark thread. I have never stitched with glow in the dark thread, so I'm super keen and excited to try that. So it was great. And let's see. And she gave me a couple of extras just for me, which was so sweet of her. Some sparkly silver thread and this beautiful color as well. You see that? I mean, yeah, gorgeous. So thank you, Anita. And then in this cute little bag, I mean, like, how adorable is that? She sent along a floss spring that I can use to put all my lovely new threads on. So excited that I get to, excuse me as I crinkle up that paper and put it away. So again, thank you to Anita for this lovely opportunity to stitch this Siamese fighting fish chart with you. And guys, please just go check her out. It's great. She's working on so many other different projects as well, not just this one chart. You really need to look at it. She's One Stipple Two Stitch, both on Etsy and on Instagram. And I will tag her in the description at the bottom of the video. So here's how much I've gotten done. Now, it doesn't look like a lot, but it actually is. It's almost, I say that, but maybe not. It's, I'd say, about 1,700 stitches in. So here it is. Look how tiny those stitches are. Let me see if I can get the camera to focus. There we go. No. Like, it's going to be fun. So, you can't tell, but this is black and this is navy. I know it's funny. I don't even know if you can tell at all, but I'm trying to get the camera to focus on the stitches, but it's not. It doesn't want to. Maybe I'm too close, who knows? Oh, maybe I should try this. Yeah, so that's black and navy, both together. Look how tiny it is. I think that means it's gonna be even more fabulous when it's done. It's actually gonna be more truer to Chris's artwork than anything, because I mean, this is what it's gonna be. So exciting. I think that's gonna look fabulous when it's done. So I have started this tiny little corner up here, and then I think I should be getting into the greens and the teals up here. Very exciting. So I'm not going to undo my clips, and so you can see how big the fabric is. I don't even want to look at how big the fabric is. I'm just going to enjoy the journey. This is on 28 count 1/1 full across, and so super excited to get back to working on this. So, excuse me while I bend down to grab my note sheet. When I was talking about my plans for 2021, I had in my mind just the one focus piece, which was for the 2021, 21 in 2021. So the 21,000 stitches, that was going to be my focus piece for the year, so I could get the 21,000 stitches in there. In the 3 days that I worked on it, I managed to get something like, I don't know, 700, 800 stitches in, and that was in 3 days. So I know I can do it. I am focused and I'm motivated to get it done, but I want to make sure that I get time. So I want to make that my focus piece. So instead of putting it in I'm going to switch up my rotation a little bit. So I have my rotation wheel, but I've decided I'm going to use my rotation wheels on separate days. So there's 7 days in the week, and I can use that to get a lot of work done. So I feel that on Sundays, and I'm only picking this for Sundays because I'm currently already working on it today, so I might as well continue with it. So on Sundays, I'm going to work on Ganesha. So every Sunday, I'm going to work on Ganesha. And, I had it all written down, but all my notes are in my phone, which I'm using to film this, so I can't. But I think I remember what I wanted to do. So every Sunday, I'm going to be stitching on this. And I decided I wanted to focus on 2 other projects this year to make sure that they get touched on and don't get lost in my rotation, because sometimes, like with World Travel Bookshelf, it's in my rotation, but depending on how I spin the wheel, sometimes I don't get to stitch on it for weeks at a time, and I don't want that to happen with these projects. So the other one that I'm going to focus on this year and give a specific day for it is the Cross Stitch Mystery Cell. This way. So this one I want to dedicate a day to it too. So Mondays I will be stitching on the Mystery Cell, and I'm about not halfway through the page yet, but close to. So I'm hoping that if I give it a dedicated day, that I'll definitely get the page done before the next page comes out, which is important. I really don't like falling behind in any of these mystery cells. It just makes me lose my interest, and I don't want to lose my interest in this one because I have a feeling it's going to be so much fun. And they say a lot of people were trying to guess what it is, and I mean, you can't even guess anything with this. There's nothing there but color and a lot of yellows. So, but they've been saying that because everybody's been asking, they're like, when are we going to find out what it is? And some of the organizers said that it's quite possible by page 3 or 4, possibly 5, you might be able to figure out what the entire picture is. I'm not really too bothered. I really like the mystery of it all. Like, I mean, you're just putting X's in fabric and you have no idea what it's going to come up to be like, and I kind of find that exciting and just so much fun. So I'm not bothered with the who or what or how or, all that kind of stuff. I'm just having fun with the journey. And so I've dedicated Monday nights. I say nights because I really don't get a lot of stitching done in the daytime. By the time work is done and then everything that I need to do for the kids and the family, my main stitching time is in the evening time. and so I'm a late night stitcher. So Monday nights will be Cross Stitch Studio, and I've also kind of put in the schedule, Monday night is going to be Cross Stitch Studio Mystery Sal / rotation. So I'll work on it every Monday, and if perchance I get a chance to finish that page and I still have a Monday left in the month before the new page comes out, I'll just spin the wheel and pick a rotation project. So that's the plan for that. The other project that I wanted to dedicate some time and make sure that it gets worked on is the Siamese fighting fish. I mean, I just feel like I owe it to Anita. She has so kindly asked me to do this, and I kind of really love it too, so why wouldn't I? So I've decided to make this my third focus piece, and I'm going to do this every Tuesday night. So Siamese fighting fish will get some time and get some love worked on it every Tuesday of the week, and I hope that means that we'll be seeing some progress soon. We shall see. So those will be my 3 focus pieces every week. And then as for the rotation, all my other works and progresses go in my wheel. And so that's Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. Then the rest of the week, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, will be a different project every night. I'm not sure how that's gonna work, if I'm gonna like that, having to change my project every single day. We're gonna give it a try and see if it gets too hectic, or if I feel like I'm getting into a groove on one thing and I want to spend one extra day, then maybe I'll change my stitching plan. But for the time being, I'm going to have those 3 focus pieces, so each week they will definitely get worked on, and then the rest of the days I will do a rotation piece. And when down the road, when I add new projects, because I have quite a few new projects in mind, I'll just add them to the rotation, and they'll get worked on when they get worked on. Now, but I'm still going to add my focus pieces, all 3 of them, in the wheel. So if they do come up in rotation on my rotation day, that just means they get worked on twice in that week. So I'm not going to be bothered about taking them out of the progress wheel, the rotation wheel. I'll just work extra on it. So that is the plan for the coming year. I'm a bit of the kind of stitcher that I set a plan, and then if it doesn't work, I'll just change it. So we'll go with this for the next little while, and I'll continue to show you guys my progress. And I really hope you guys have enjoyed joining me here on my channel, Thread the Needle. I so enjoy sharing my work with you, and please like and subscribe. It helps me to get the word out, and I really enjoy sharing my work and my work in progress, and I hope you enjoy watching what I have to share. I really appreciate all the comments that I get from you all. Every single one is super special, and I will try to respond to every single one. If you have any questions about any of the pieces that I'm working on, I will try to link all of them in the description box below. The only ones that I can't, obviously, are the ones that are retired or do not have a link, and I think there might be a couple in there because a lot of my pieces are from other SALs that no longer exist anymore. So the only other thing I wanted to show you was my stitching journal. So 2021, this is how we're going to start. So I kind of need an idea of some more stuff to do with it, because really beyond keeping track of each piece, so you'll see in my notes, these are my WIPs, and I have one block for each one. So you'll see, let's see, for the Ganesha, I wrote down which company, which is Heaven and Earth Designs. I wrote down the start date. It's actually blank because I don't remember when I started it. I have to go back in my notes and look for the start date on that. And I wrote down the artist, which is Brigid Ashwood, and then I wrote down the fabric, which is 22 count, and what stitch I'm doing it on. So this is what the first page is that I'm doing with it, just so that I can look back on reference if someone asks me any questions on a particular project, and also for myself so I can keep reminding myself what it is I'm working on. And especially the start date, that helps me because I like to know when I started something. And then of course, let's move on to the first month in it, and this is what I started to do. I started to just note down which project I worked on which day, and then underneath it I just wrote down how many stitches I did that day. Now here's my question. Sure, that takes up that page, great, fantastic, wonderful. Then what do I do for the rest of January? Each day has its own page, so I'm like, man alive, what am I going to do with this? So if anybody has any ideas of what in the world I can do with all these extra pages in this fancy, fancy journal that I got myself, I don't know. Let me know if you have any ideas. And I have also, like I mentioned in my previous video, this year I want to actually time myself. Not in the sense that I want to time myself to see how fast of a stitcher I am, no. I just want to know how long it takes me to stitch on a certain piece. It's still a learning curve for me. I still kind of have to remind myself to turn my timer on. I have an app where you can list all your projects, and all you got to do is when you start stitching for the night, if you sit down, all I have to do is press on that particular project and it starts a timer for that one. And then at the end of the week or end of the month, it'll give you a report. So I can see how much of each one, or I can do each individual project to see how much time I've put in on it. This is not for any reason in particular, just for the sake of, I want to know how long it takes me to work on a piece, because every piece is going to be different depending on the stitch count, depending on the fabric count, depending on the stitch type. So I just want to have an answer, because a lot of people always ask me, oh, how long did it take you to stitch that? And my answer is always years, because I have so many in rotation. I'm never always working on one project at a time. So I feel kind of weird telling them it takes me years. It will, but probably not as long as it's actually been in my rotation. It's obviously going to be a lot less. So I'd like to have an idea of how much time I actually put in on a project. And it doesn't have to be very, specific, like only the actual stitching time of when my thread goes in and out of the fabric. I mean from the time that I sit down to work on that project until the time that I put it away. I just want a general time of how long it takes me to work on a particular project. So I started doing that, and a couple of times in the past couple of weeks, I've had to be like, oh crap, I have to turn my timer on, so I'll have to start it. And you can actually edit the timing. So if let's say I started at 8 o'clock at night, but then I didn't remember until 8:15, so I can press start on my timer, but then I can edit it to say that I actually started it at 8 o'clock, and it'll continue calculating the time. So it's a cute little app. I really enjoy it. And then I also mentioned another cross-stitching app that I started using that gives me a progress bar all on one page of all my works in progresses, so I can see at a glance how much of each project I have done. And I'm just very visual that way, I think, and I really enjoy it. So this year I'm going to try both the counting my stitches to keep track of my progress, as well as counting the time I spend on each project. And we'll see how the year goes. It's just the beginning of 2021. A lot of stitching to come this year. I have some really fun projects planned, and I hope you all enjoy what I have to show you. I hope you all like my projects. I know it's not to everybody's taste. I love full coverage cross stitch, and I love the variety that I'm stitching. I have a little bit of everything, I like to think, I hope. I've worked on quite a few different pieces over the years, and a lot of the time it's to my taste, and at the end of the day, we stitch for ourselves, and a lot of the times I'm not stitching for the end result. I'm stitching for the journey, because I actually love the stitching process. Stitching is my zen. It's when I feel the most at peace. If I have anything that's going on that is, I just find that as soon as I pick up my stitching, I can just forget about everything else and just concentrate on what's in front of me and I feel so much better. So I really enjoy this hobby so much, and I'm so glad that I discovered it all those years ago. And if there's anybody new stitchers out there, I highly, highly recommend needlework and cross stitch especially. If you like full coverage, then this is the place to be. And I thank you so much for joining me today on my channel, Thread the Needle. Please like and subscribe, and come back and join me next time. It's been a blast. Happy 2021 to everybody, and I look forward to seeing you next time. Happy stitching. Have a wonderful day. Bye now.